Hello, my beautiful YouTube family. This is Farida Baksa Musa, and I've been away from YouTube since a while because I was so diligently homeschooling my girls and at the same time writing a supplemental learning curriculum for you guys. I had so many parents ask me on my Instagram, how do we interact with our child? I know most of my parents, my friends here, so well educated, but sometimes you need the tools. And I really thought that, from all my educational experience, teaching high schoolers, teaching at Waldorf school, teaching at universities, teaching elementary school students, all that knowledge and experience I had and have, and as a homeschooling mom of 3 girls, I have poured it all in writing my curriculum. I'm so excited to introduce you all to my company, Brings Joy Learning, where we focus on making supplemental learning curriculum from grades kindergarten to 12th grade with lessons where all subjects are taught holistically. Now, what do I mean by that? When you open my books, like these are my daughter's books. They're unit style books. So that's book 3, that's book 2, unit 2, and that's book 1. The unit style, you buy these books and you find all the information on my website. When you open a lesson from my book, you will learn math, science, social studies, you learn language arts all together. Because I realized that when I was teaching my children at home, I saw that they were not learning holistically. Because when they're in the kitchen, when they're with me doing life, they don't study subjects like, oh, I'm learning science, oh, I'm doing math. They're all blended together. And I did not find many curriculums out there where all subjects were taught together. So in my mission to help parents, give them tools, I have to design lesson plans where subjects are taught holistically. And you know what? I tried and tested it with my children, and I realized that they become more critical thinkers, they become more self-aware. I wanted to make lessons where they learn social, emotional learning, where the good characters, good, rich literature, which really resonated with me and how I would want my children to learn and how I would want people using my books to help their children learn. Now, many people ask me that, we send our children to school, but we may not be a homeschooling family, but we want to sit with them and be involved because, you don't have to be a homeschooling parent to really understand how your child learns. You sit with them for 10 to 15 minutes a day, maybe something from their school. Maybe sometimes I've realized that as a teacher, they don't want to open things, they don't want to talk about school stuff because it's done, they're done with their homework. But if you give them something different, you make it fun. You tell them, what, this is going to be so much fun and I will sit with you and I will teach you. And I don't think so there's any child who doesn't want to be read a story, whatever the age is. Our oldest is 9 years old and she loves to be read. And I'm sure when she grows up too, I would love to read to her and she will sit with me. My books have these beautiful poems, stories where you can call your child. You don't have to sit at a table. You can read to them. It's open and go. Everything you need is in that book. So say your child is rested, you say it's a weekend or every day, you want to help learn how your child learns and you want to support them. Teacher myself, I know that when parents get involved, the child really thrives. And this generation, it's commendable. Me as a parent, I see my friends, I see my students' parents, they put in so much thought, research in sending them to the best of schools, or they put the thought, research time to homeschool their children. Any which ways, the parent knows best, and whatever schooling system you choose for your children, it's great, but what I want to offer and what I really and genuinely believe from my experience as a teacher and my experience as a homeschool mom, the children learn beautifully. And those 10 to 15 minutes sitting with your child and doing an experiment or doing an activity or playing a game and teaching them. And you know what, when they realize it, you're like, oh, that's how my child learns. Oh, that's how my child gets concepts. And you'll always remember these memories. Like my two daughters, they're very different learners. I wouldn't know that if they were going to a school, or even if they were going to a school, I wouldn't know them unless I was sitting with them and doing the activities. So these books are 3 years of effort, because how do I write a book? How do I design a book where subjects are taught together? We've never seen that. At least I haven't. And how do I write one poem? So if you'll see, here there's a poem. We're learning about Babak's bird watching. And we're reading this poem. We're sitting with my daughters. We're reading this poem. Then we have some discussion questions. Then we do some writing and science. Then there's some math activities. So there's some activity. Everything you need is in the book. And then there is an integrated learning activity. So each lesson, very short, 10 to 15 minutes. And you sit with your child, you learn how they learn, and you teach them holistically. It fosters, I would say, a love for learning. And just sitting with your parent, doing this together, it builds it really unites hearts, builds your relationship. It also promotes good character development. That was one big thing that I did not see in many books, is, where the characters, the way they would talk, or the role model and how my children would visualize them. I wanted it to be very positive and very impactful, and the characters and the stories that you read in my book, they will definitely help in good character development for your children. It encourages creativity, because I feel that the world is like a plain canvas. They are so creative, and the kids, when they give them an art project, I usually do not like to tell them, oh, do this. I like to give the tools, but it's your you do your best here. And in my books, you'll see that there's a lot of leeway where you can let your child create and be, you can also adapt, and you can make a few changes, and based on how your child learns and how your child enjoys. So you learn it, you do few lessons with the book, and you'll realize how your child learns, and maybe you could do this faster or that faster, or maybe even not do that part. However your child wants to learn, encourage them. Do not tell them, I know most of you don't do it, but if you're bad in math, then let it go, let it slide, let's work on something else, but then we'll come back. Now, another thing with my books is whatever speaks to your child, right? If you think they're really someone who love to talk about themselves, they want to learn about the world around them, then get them the Me and My World book, where we learn social emotional learning, writing community, how do we serve the community, how do we take care of ourselves first, then about others. So that's the book I would recommend. If you want to teach your children about entrepreneurship, budgeting, saving from a small age, we don't find these in regular books. And many people have asked me, how are they different from the other activity books? Well, it's the lesson, it's the thought that's been put behind all these beautifully taught lessons inside saving, learning about global currency in a very simple way, but still putting it out there. We want to raise entrepreneurs without even teaching them or holding their hand and telling them what entrepreneurship is. So math and English in everyday life. So this unit focuses on that, but it also teaches the other subjects with it. And then we have Appreciating Nature. That's the third book. And this is for nature lovers. Your children love going outdoors. Great. Use this as a tool. Everything you need, you don't have to go outdoors. It's all there. The scenario lessons, there's about animals, and you'll find everything about different birds and fish and how do you classify them. So how do you color, like a simple fish drawing. Everything you need is here. You read a poem, you tell them what a poem is. Maybe you go and gather a few things, you count things on a tree, you learn rock cycles, you have messages, takeaway stories about good character. So yeah, those 3 books are unit style. If you visit my website, you can read Some of it, you can see the sample lessons under my free download section and get an idea of what's covered in each book. The table of contents is available to you. Now, I would suggest buying all the books, book 1, book 2, book 3, because all the topics flow into the next book. But if you want to try it, you can just get one. If you think your child would love to study more about entrepreneurship, you want to teach that, then you would buy that, whatever talks to you. And I really feel that this is a great resource. I thoroughly believe in two things. One is parent-child, when they study together, when they learn together, live life together. It is so... it's so memorable, when your child will remember anything. Anything I remember from my school is definitely from what is taught by one of my most favorite teacher. What was the best part about that teacher? Very encouraging, very supportive, used positive reinforcements. And those subjects magically became the best subjects because it was taught by the best teacher. And who does your child love the most? It's you, mom and dad. And you teach them. You don't have to teach them the whole day. I understand everyone's working really hard for the family, for themselves. But just 10 to 15 minutes with these books and with these tools could make a lot of difference. Yes, and people have asked me about how do I get my child to sit? Maybe have a little learning area. Maybe read them books. Or maybe have this routine. However, whatever works for you. Every child is different. Every parent wants to teach is different. But I recommend, just having an open and go curriculum like the one that I have designed. And say you're traveling, just take my books and, just open it. And they all met global standards. So I have designed them in the USA. You'll find a lot of USA terminologies, but it is global. The standards that are met are for that grade. A kindergartner, they're a little higher in standards. So I would say even a first grader could use my books. My vision is to get in more grades. We'll have more first grade, we'll have second grade, and we'll work on till kindergarten. Another thing is that there's something about holding a physical book. I know in the day of age of technology, and we have beautiful apps, wonderful ways of teaching your child at home. But there's something about just sitting with a book, that book, and studying from it, reading from it. I have these books available right now in the US, in Canada, and I have them available in India. There's a website for India, bringsjoylearning.in, where the payment gateway is made easy for you. And then there's the bringsjoylearning.com for people in the US, where I am based, and for Middle East and Canada. I'm going to be making more useful videos. Let me know in the comments below what videos should I make. What is some tools that you need help in? Of course, there's the book, but what else? I really want to help the community. I've written this. I finally put it out there to the world to see. I really hope you can download the free downloads from my website, and let me know in the comment section of my YouTube video, what else do you want to see? What else do you want me to include? If you've been a customer, thank you so much. So many of you are shopping from my website, our products. Please let us know how we can improve. Always want a customer. We really want your feedback, and we want to incorporate that, and we want to make our books even better. So thank you so much for listening to me in this generation of shorter videos. I thought I want to pour my heart out and tell you about the Brings Joy Learning curriculum. Some key takeaways: it is supplemental learning. You do not have to be a homeschooling parent. If you want to homeschool, or you are a homeschooling parent, this is everything you need for teaching your children. It's met with all the global standards for that age. It is an interdisciplinary learning curriculum where all subjects are taught together in lessons. They're very open and go, 10 to 15 minutes with your child, and you're done. Everything you need, you do not have to sit and gather it from different places. It is all there. It is all for you to use. I really, really believe in what I have created, and I really believe that you, mom and dad, can spend that quality time with my books, with your children, and you will make beautiful memories, and you learn how your child learns so beautifully. So the teachers do a great job, schools do an amazing job, But you know that the magic is when you sit with your child, and not with homeworks, not with something that has been taught and they've heard it. Show them something else. You know, they will come, they get attracted to the books, and sit with them and listen to their stories, read to them, be patient, and enjoy the Brings Joy Learning curriculum. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.